Welcome to Knit the 80s. My name is Rosie and I am about to be as cozy as I possibly can. Do you like my Christmas mug? It's my favourite. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. If you have seen some of my videos before, you may remember I'm English and I live in Mexico. With my husband, we live in the city where he grew up. Now, one of the things that means is currently it's mid-December and it's about 20 degrees Celsius outside. It's pretty warm and it will continue to be throughout the festive season. Now, as you may already know, Mexico has a ton of great Christmas traditions. It's a lot of fun. It is party season here, it's in full swing. And I will absolutely be participating in those traditions, don't you worry. But at the same time, this is the time of year when I find myself most thinking about home and wanting to incorporate some of my own, traditions from my childhood. So while I will absolutely be partying with my Mexican family, don't you worry, I also want to get as cozy as I can. Now, I am a firm believer that coziness is a state of mind. It is not weather dependent. So despite the warm t-shirt weather outside, I will absolutely be settling down to knit on the sofa with my dog. I will be making my mulled wine, my mince pies, my Christmas cookies. This house is gonna get snug and cozy. Now, as it happens, my new work in progress is perfect for this season. I am so excited to be working on it. I mentioned a few weeks back that this is the pattern I want to be working on next. It is a sleeveless V-neck vest pattern. It's from this magazine here. It's I can't remember. It's a November 1987 edition of Anna magazine. I do have other magazines. I don't know, we're just in an Anna phase right now. There's so many great patterns in these magazines. So this vest is supposed to be made with 2 strands of mohair held together. The yarn that I have is a slightly thicker mohair. It's what are we thinking? Maybe sport weight. So I'm going for a single strand. It's working quite nicely. Now, I've swatched this yarn I don't know how many times at this point, because I've been searching and searching for the perfect pattern that's going to use just the right amount of it, that's going to use it in like the right way, And I think I finally found it with this pattern. I'm really excited. I already unwound some of the swatches in order to make other ones, and I will absolutely not be throwing any of this yarn away because if I ran out, that would be truly devastating. I mentioned at some point during my last project, the Intasha t-shirt, that it maybe would have been a better idea to start over at a certain point when I did not start over in that pattern. So yes, I am trying to learn to be more okay with starting my projects over, having patience. It's all part of the process, right? That being said, this yarn has mohair in it, and so I would really like to avoid frogging it unless I absolutely have to. I mentioned when I talked about this pattern before that the gauge was way off. However, I really like the fabric that came out with the recommended needles. So what I opted to do was change the stitch count. I did a ton of maths. Do you know what? I'm going to put the maths on the screen because I'm going to say it wrong if I try and say it out loud. So my swatch was too small. It came out about 80% of the size that it needed to be. And so rather than size up the needles, I chose to increase the stitch count. This is how I did it. So I'm working with the measurements given in the magazine for the largest size they have. There are 3 sizes in the magazine, and I increased the stitch count accordingly to meet the gauge for that size. In terms of the row count, I'm also under. Again, I'm about 85% of the row count, I think. What I'm thinking is I'm actually going to leave that as it is because I'm short. I'm 5'3", and so actually I always make my garments a little bit shorter anyway. I think that if I have 85% of the length of the garment, that's actually fine. So this is how far I've got so far. All I did was cast on, and I've done the ribbing. This is going to be the back. I've done the ribbing on a 4mm needle. It's a 2x2 rib That seems to be really popular in these 80s patterns, and honestly I love it. Big fan of a 2x2 rib. So the next thing I need to do is change needles. The rest of the pattern is worked on a 5mm, which I have just here. So in the next row, I'm going to change needle and at the same time increase the stitch count according to the pattern. We're not doing anything too crazy in order to change the pattern or anything like that. What I'm a little worried about is that there doesn't seem to be any underarm shaping, like I'm basically making a box for the back of the garment. There are cables around the armhole, and there are cables up the middle here, and then it splits and the cable is like follows the v-neck here. But yeah, the underarm is just going to be like that. I'm just going to sew the two pieces together. There's no shaping there. I hope that's fine. If I get there and it seems like it's not going to be fine, then maybe I could just add some shaping. I don't think that would be too hard to do. But yeah, I thought that was a bit weird that that was the case, and that then they'd covered up the armholes in the photo, like maybe they didn't look very good. We'll find out when we get there, I guess. So this is my project for this coming month. It's soft, it's cozy, it's squishy. I am so in love with this colour as well. Isn't it beautiful? I've been excited to work with this yarn ever since I got a hold of Lulu's stash, I have to tell you. I think this is going to be the perfect cozy knit to accompany me this season. Sit here. This is a bit weird. But my husband's gone out for a jog, so I want to show you really quickly this adorable little gift knit that I made. Okay, it's not knit, it's crochet, and I know I've showed you crochet 2 videos in a row, and it's knit the 80s. Knit the 80s. It's gonna be knitting from here on out, but how cute is this? Okay, so everyone was making making these like a year or two ago. I don't know, I've missed the trend. I don't care. I never had a chance to make one. It's hummed up. Here's what it's for. It's to keep your class in it. Isn't that just adorable? I saw these all over the internet when people were first making them, and I was like, oh, that's really cute. I never made one, so I took the time in the last couple of days, and oh, I love it so much. Isn't that adorable? Oh, hi, I'm back on the floor. Thanks so much for spending the last few cozy days with me. Right now, I'm in the in-between days. Christmas has already happened. New Year's has not yet happened. It's about 6 p.m. The sun has just set. I'm getting ready to have my last cozy evening for a few days, and I've just been reflecting and thinking that this process of trying to make my home as cozy as possible has been truly so enjoyable this year. I guess it's really complemented all the other stuff that goes on at Christmas time here. I don't know if it's because, so I'm from the UK, which is coldish at times, right? So I don't know if that means maybe there's like something in my, in my psyche, in my ancestry, you know what I mean? That means at this time of year, this is what I want to do. I want to be in a blanket. I want to make my house beautiful and snug. I want to stay in when it's dark. I want to eat warm foods. And yeah, I don't know. Is this a thing that you get when you grow up around colder weather? I don't know. YouTube tells me that most of you are watching from the US. So if you're, I don't know, somewhere warmer, do you feel this way? Do you feel the need to get cozy in the winter? I think it's something very human and very beautiful, and personally I love it. I don't think it has anything to do with the weather. But it's made this festive season really enjoyable for me. So thanks for coming along and sharing. So alongside all this snug coziness, I did actually get quite a lot of knitting done. Would you like to see? So this is still the back of the garment. I've got this much done. Hey, this is pretty good, huh? So I did join in the second ball of yarn a few rows back, and I'm just a couple of rows away from reaching the point which is going to be the underarms. All I have to do there is start to do the cable pattern on both sides, which has to run all the way around the armhole. I'm thinking that I'm gonna trust the pattern and do what it says, which means just straight up, no armhole shaping. I do have doubts about it, but this is part of the experimentation of this whole process, right, is to knit the patterns. So yeah, maybe I'm gonna do that. I did in the end add rows because I got my measuring tape out, and I thought that this 80% of the height of the vest, which I was going to end up with the gauge that I have, was actually going to be a little bit on the shorter side for me. I measured a sweater I have, which is the shortest sweater that I like to wear, like the most cropped, and this was going to be shorter than that. So I did add some rows. I think I made a good choice. I continue to do more adjustments and maths, and I continue to add more sticky post-its to my pattern all the time because, well, I have to do this again for the front, don't I? So that's where we are. I'm optimistic that I'm going to have enough yarn. I think we're going to use 4, maybe 4.5, and I have 6, so that's good. So I'm going to get back to this evening. Yes, most likely on my sofa in a blanket with my dog sitting next to me. So thanks again for joining me wherever you are. I hope that your season has been as cozy as mine. I would love to know what you do to make your home snug and cozy during this season. I know most of my traditions are very British centric, so let me know down below what makes your home feel cozy. If you've not yet subscribed to this channel, please consider doing so. That would make me very happy. Until next time, happy knitting. As always, may your mohair never be scratchy. This is why I'm so slow at knitting. I'm not really slow, it's just there are a lot of interruptions. Can I help you?